السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله. أيها الناس اتقوا الله. I invite myself and you all to taqwa, to be mindful of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in all walks of life. از خدا بترسیم و او را در همه فرامین او و همه آنات زندگیمون در نظر داشته باشیم. It's the day of shahadat of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. And we are all known as the Ja'fari Shias. Shi'ayan Ja'fari hastim. Ke all the credit of that goes to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and for the hard work he and his father Imam Baqir alayhi salam provided to the world. Now the topic that we have in Quran, there are these terms. For example, says wazn, mizan, thaqulat mizanu, khaffat mizanu. Yani on the day of judgment when the scale will be heavy, waqti mizan sangin bishe ya mizan sabuk bashe ya wal wazn yawma idhin al haq, the weighing of the deeds on that day, it's all truth. حق است که دیگه اعمال ما سنجیده خواهد شد در اون روز. حالا این آیاتی که هست و این وزن و میزان و اینا معنیش چیه؟ یا مثلا یه جای دیگه میفرماید که فلا تقیم لهم یوم القیامت وزنا. So wazn, mizan, it is a measure. وقتی میخوایم we want to measure weight, it is in kilograms, length, it's centimeters, kilometers. For everything there is a measure. Allah says even for your actions there is a measure, there is a mizan. So everything will be measured with that measure that the Almighty has. Now for kuffar says أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فحبطت أعمالهم فلا تقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا. Because kuffar, they failed and they rejected, they denied, they stood against the Almighty God. For them on the day of resurrection we will not give them any weight. Any heat wazni اینا ندارن در روز قیامت، چون اینا در روبروی خدا ایستادن. پس معلوم شد که میزان خطکش هست به عنوان میزان خط کشیدن، میزان هوا هست، هوا سنج داریم، دما سنج داریم. پس همه چیز یه سنجشی داره که اون وزن و میزان به او نامیده میشه. خب والوزن یومئذ الحق، میزان حق است. درباره ائمه ما، for example in the ziyarat inshallah when you go to Najaf and you pay a visit to Amir al-Mu'mineen, in the ziyarat the term we have is as-salamu ala mizan al-a'mal. Amir al-Mu'mineen has been mentioned as the measure of actions. Now our actions, we definitely don't want to say are like the actions of Amir al-Mu'mineen. That is impossible, that cannot happen. They have a little bit of a resemblance with the servants and the descendants and those who are attached and to Amir al-Mu'mineen salamullah alayhi. Some kind of a resemblance our actions have to Amir al-Mu'mineen's servants, to the descendants of his. Now the reason why it is said it is impossible, for example in the battle of Khandaq, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he hit Amr ibn Abdawad یه ضربه به او زد که اونجا پیغمبر فرمودن که ضربت علی یوم الخندق، همین یک ضرب علی روز خندق افضل من عبادت الثقلین, much better than the worship of all the jinn and all the ins. human and jinn, all the worship that they have done in the past, they will do in the future, whatever they have done, all the good, all of that, it cannot be measured with that one strike of Amirul Mu'mineen. So that is the greatness of Amirul Mu'mineen, where we say, As-salamu ala mizan al-a'mal. As a'mal, they will be measured with Amirul Mu'mineen Salamullah alayhi. If the actions that we have, they are compatible to the actions of Amirul Mu'mineen, Allah will accept. And if God forbid not, it will not be accepted. پس معلوم شد که میزان هر چیزی یه میزان داره و میزان اعمال ما هم امیرالمؤمنین و ائمه ما اهل بیت سلام الله علیهم اجمعین هستش. For example, we believe that the Imam is the whole sole authority and the appointment of the Imam is by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, divine, and we believe that Imam has to be ma'soom. So this is the aqidah of the Shias only, and no one else has this aqidah. Everyone else says amruhum shura bainahum. They say that amruhum means they can get together, they can have a meeting, they can have a shura, a council. Whatever is decided in the council, their statement is haq. ما اینو نمیگیم. ما میگیم نه. امامت اون رتبه است و اون مقامی است که خدای متعال اونو قرار داده و غیر از خدا کسی نمیتونه این منصب را به کسی عطا کنه. امرهم شورا بینهم، اینا دیگه به مثلا حضرت نوح، حضرت ابراهیم سلام الله علیه when he built the Kaaba, Allah says to Prophet Ibrahim, inni ja'iluka lin-nasi imama, that I'm making you an imam for the entire humanity. And then Prophet Ibrahim says, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي, my children, my descendants. Allah quickly says, قَالَ اللَّهُ لَا يَنَالُ أَحْدَ الظَّالِمِينَ. That is a rank, and it will not be given to someone who is a zalim, someone who is a wrongdoer. It will not be given to him. So the rank of imamat, it is a divine rank given by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. In it, appointment is a must. In it, ismat and infallibility is also a requirement that we have aqidah in. So, إِنَّ الْإِمَامَةَ عَهْدٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. Here in the hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, Imam says that imamat, it is a rank, an ahad, an allegiance, a covenant from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And no one else can, and that's why we say Ati'u Allah wa Ati'u Rasul wa ulil amri minkum in Quran, that you be obedient to Allah, you be obedient to Rasul wa ulil amri minkum. Ulil amr, who is that? It is an imam who is ma'soom. Now when we see all these Muslim world, they say that ulil amr is the leader. Any leader cannot be any leader. It has to be ma'soom. He has to be ma'soom. If he is not ma'soom, then how can he be ruling and governing over nufus that are of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? I mean, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, most of the time that he, after Imam Hussein alayhi salam, 10 years of the life of Imam Sajjad was in the wilderness. He couldn't stay in one place because of the focus that he had from Yazid and Muawiyah, and Imam was living in a very difficult situation. And after Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, when the time comes to Imam Baqir alayhi salam, the situation was a bit difficult. Then all these rulers, they had revolted against Yazid ibn Muawiyah and the Amavis. So here Imam Sadiq and Imam Baqir alayhi salam, they got a better opportunity, fursat behtari ishun be dast avardan برای امامت و زعامت و teaching and education and guiding the people. So in that time, we see that there's a book called, the writer is Abu Abbas Ahmad bin Uqda. He says that, now this is a book that was written 1,200 years ago. Now in his book he says that Imam Baqir alayhi salam, he has 4,000 students. 4,000 students, and he has mentioned every single name of every single student that Imam has. Likewise, Marhum Tusi, he also has mentioned that 3,000 students of Imam Sadiq have been mentioned by their name. 900 of them are from Kufa, and 75 of them have been mentioned in the book again. So all of these are great people, great students of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Now I'll just mention a few of them. One of them, it's Aban bin Taghlib, Ali ibn Yaqtin. Ali ibn Yaqtin ham yeki az shagirdan Imam Sadiq salamullah alayhi hastesh, and one of those people who was appointed as the minister. Imam says that being in the ministry of Harun al-Rashid, he comes and says that it's difficult to be in a place where everything is so messy and all these sinners and all these zalimeen are there, and you want me to be the minister of Harun. Imam says that yes, you be in the ministry of Harun, idminli wahida, and I will guarantee 3 things for you. You guarantee just one thing for me. Imam says that if you guarantee that whenever a Shia comes to you, one of the believers of the Ahlul Bayt comes to you and they are in need of help, you help them, whosoever he is. And I will guarantee 3 things for you. One is that a sword will never come to you, you will never be imprisoned, and you will never, faqr and poverty will never come to you. So you will never be imprisoned, you will never be killed or tortured by them, and also you will never be stuck in any kind of poverty and faqr. So just do one thing for me. So Ali ibn Yaqtin on a special permit, has a special permit from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, and he is in the rule of Harun al-Rashid la'natullahi alayhi. Likewise, Abu Hamza Simali, one of the students of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, Abu Basir, Hisham, Zurara, all these are great personalities who have been raised and who have been educated by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. So hame ye inai ke ilm zikr shud, ashab khas se Imam Sadiq alayhi salam budan ke Zurara hastesh, Hisham, Abu Basir o Abu Hamza Simali, Ali ibn Yaqtin wa Aban bin Taghlib. Now, when we look into the statements of the support that Imam has regarding the students of his, says كذب من زعم أنه من شيعتنا وهو متمسك بعروة غيرنا. Someone who says that I am a Shia, and then he has any kind of an inclination and he is connected to others apart from the Ahlul Bayt, Imam says he is a liar. یعنی کسی که بگد که من شیعه هستم و به دیگران من متمسک باشه، امام میفهمن که دروغ میگه، این شیعه نیست. پس شیعه بودن اینکه با اهل بیت باشیم، being with the Ahlul Bayt and according to the teachings of them, and whatsoever and no matter what the circumstances be, we have to be and the follower, a true follower of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim assalam. یکی از شاگردان امام صادق زراره بود. زراره هم یه خواهر داشت. حالا این خواهر شیعه شد، بعد برادرش رو هم شیعه کرد، هم که شیعه شد وصلش کرد به امام صادق. این باعث شد که کل خانواده زراره همه شیعه شدن و از بهترین علما و این علمای فرازیه که شیعه شدن که باعثش همون یه خواهر شد. And Zurara is one of the reporters and the students of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. He has a sister, and that sister she embraces, she becomes a Shia, and then she guides her brother to be towards Tashayyu. Brother also embraces, becomes a Shia, and then she guides him to Imam Sadiq, and he becomes a student of Imam Sadiq, and from there on he becomes a means to convert the entire family of Zurara into Tashayyu, and they all are among the best of the ulama of the Shia world and among the best of students of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. So women over there, you see that then and also before that, they played a pivotal role in the guidance of everyone. Likewise, we see Hazrat Maryam, she also plays a pivotal role, or even Asiya, who is the wife of Fir'aun. She is a queen and living with all those wealths and riches and charms and beauty and everything she has. And then, but when it comes to support of Deen and a Waliullah, she is a means of guidance, and Allah mentions her as one of the 4 ladies who are the best in the creation. And it says that ضرب الله مثلا للذين آمنوا امرأة فرعون. Says a parable, مثال میزند در قرآن که نه فقط برای زنان, not only for women, for everyone, for men and women, from the believing men and women. للذين آمنوا امرأة فرعون. That is the wife of Fir'aun, that she, despite all that position and rank that she has, she is among the supporters of a Waliullah, and that is Prophet Musa salamullah alayhi. Now for Zurara, among the best of students of Imam Sadiq, Imam says, لولا زرارة ونظراؤه لظننت أن أحاديث أبي ستذهب. اگر نبود زراره و همه این جمع آوری احادیث ایشون و ایشون حافظ علوم دیگه, اصلا هیچی از علم پدرمون باقی نمیموند. یعنی such a great personality Zurara is. For him, Imam says that if it wasn't his hard work and the saving of the ahadith of my father, nothing from the religion and all of that, it would have been devastated, it would have been all gone. Now, so being a student of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, it's a great honor, and all these personalities that were just mentioned are among the sincere students of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. And we see, alaykum salamullah, and throughout we see that the support system that Imam renders to his students also, that is great. That is in times of protection, Imam protects them, guides them, and is with them at all times. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Now, for example, one of the statements that we have for Imam, for one of the other ashab of Imam, says, هذا ناصرنا بقلبه ولسانه ويده. That is, this is Aban bin Taghlib. Aban bin Taghlib هم یکی از شاگردان امام صادق هستش. درباره ایشون امام میفرمایند که این یار من است با زبانش و دستش و قلبش. این یاری را از طریق زبان و قلب و دستش نشون داده. And that is how this support has to be rendered to the Ma'asumin alayhim salam, with your efforts, with your hard work, with your time, and with your whatever is possible. May Allah Jalla wa Ala count us among the best of the servants of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, among those who are sincere to the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala never ever distance us from Quran and Ahlul Bayt, may that be here or in the hereafter. The ziyarat and the salawat that we have for Imam Sadiq, I'll recite it here. It says, Allahumma salli ala Ja'far ibn Muhammadin as-Sadiq, خازن العلم الداعي إليك بالحق النور المبين. اللهم وكما جعلته معدن كلامك ووحيك وخازن علمك ولسان توحيدك وولي أمرك ومستحفظ دينك، فصل عليه أفضل ما صليت على أحد من أصفيائك وحججك إنك حميد مجيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله آل الله واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أعداء الله من الآن إلى لقاء الله. وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين وعلى الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين وعلى الحسن والحسين وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. صل على محمد وآل محمد. أيها الناس اتقوا الله. Once again I invite you all to taqwa. We talked about salat and Adaab salat in the previous khutbahs, the importance that has to be given to this gem that Allah has given to us, and we have to invest on that, work on it, and we have to protect it. And the hadith, it said that if during your lifetime you had one or two correct prayers that you had offered, those one or two prayers will rectify all the faulty prayers that you have had offered throughout your life. پس درباره نماز ما صحبت کردیم و اون حدیث هم که ذکر شد در همون هفته 2-3 هفته پیش که امام میفرمایند که در طول زندگیتون شما این همه نماز که میخونید، اگر یه نماز درست یا 2 تا نماز درست خونده باشید، به برکت همون 1-2 تا نمازی که خوندید، همه نمازهایی که در طول زندگی خوندید همش هم خدای متعال درست میکنه. پس نماز یه همچی برکتی است، یه همچی گوهری است که اینو باید ما حفظش کنیم. و گفته شد که رکعتان به سواکن افضل من 70 رکعت به غیر سواک. یعنی قبل از اینکه شما نماز بخونید اگر با مسواک نماز بخونید، if you brush your teeth and you offer your prayers, it is 70 times more rewarding than prayers offered without miswak, without brushing your teeth. That is such important. When we look into the hygiene, that even the prayers that we offer, it has to be done with wudu. Wudu is also another hygiene. And here Rasulullah, in one of the other statements, he says that prayers, they are like a river that is next to your house. And if you were to wash yourself 5 times a day, daily, no trace of any kind of dirt would remain on you. That is, salat, it purifies. Namaz پاک کننده هست، مانند همون نهری است که کنار خونه شما هستش. و میفرمایند که اگر شما قرار باشه 5 بار در هر روز خودتون رو در همون نهری که کنار خونتون هست بشویید، هیچ کثیفی روی بدنتون نمیمونه. پس این نمازی همچی برکتی داره. خب درباره نماز، قبل از اینکه وارد نماز بشیم مستحباتی داریم. یکی از مستحبات اینه که شما 7 تا تکبیر داشته باشید در قبل از نماز. 7 تا تکبیر یعنی 6 بار میگید الله اکبر الله اکبر الله اکبر الله اکبر الله اکبر الله اکبر. 7مین تکبیر که میگید میشه تکبیرت الاحرام که نماز را شروع میکنید، الله اکبر. So among the mustahabbat you have is to say 7 takbir. 6 takbir will be mustahab. The 7th is going to be the takbiratul ihram, which will be the opening of your prayer. So the first 6 ones will be mustahab, and the 7th one will be our wajib takbir, that is takbiratul ihram, with which you will open your prayer. Now once you have started your prayers, you cannot move. هیچ حرکتی نمیتونید داشته باشید. بعضیا هستن خود اینطوری حرکت میدن تو نماز، این اشتباه، درست نیست. یعنی in your prayers you cannot move. You have to be firm, you have to be stable. Now if it's some kind of an illness, you cannot stand, and that's something else. But in normal circumstances, when you have to stand, and that stability has to be there. اونجایی که میستید نماز میخونید نباید نرم باشه. It shouldn't be on a mattress, a soft place where you cannot stand and rest properly. So it has to be a place that is firm. یه جایی هم باید بیستید که هم سطح باشه، یعنی همش مسطح باشه. اونجایی که شما دست میذارید، اونجایی که پا میذارید، اونجایی که پیشانی میذارید، قرار میذارید، یعنی it should be leveled. That when you are saying, now if you are on a mountain, on a hill, and that's something else, and there's no other place to offer, that's something else. But in normal circumstances, you have to be in a place which is musattah, which is not where when you perform sajda and place your hands and your feet, it is not moving, it is not wobbly, and you have to offer your prayers in such a status, and no kind of movement is allowed. Now sometimes you move your legs, you move your feet unintentionally. So what you do in that place, that you put your foot back, and then whatever you recited, for example, I said Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, I was moving, So I get stable and then I repeat that إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اگر حرکتی هم داشتید یعنی بدون اختیار اونجا دیگه خودتون رو دوباره آروم بکنید و اون آیه‌ای هم که خوندید یا اون ذکری که داشتید اون رو دوباره تکرار کنید که این درست بشه. پس هیچ نوع حرکت در نماز ما اجازه نداریم. خب این از مستحبات آغاز نماز. وقتی هم که سوره را میخونید اونجا هم دیگه باید اون طمأنینه و your body has to be relaxed and you have to be in that state that you are firm while performing all of these a'mal in your prayer. خب بعد after you've performed your takbiratul ihram and you've recited the surahs, you bow down in Rukoo. Rukoo, وَفِي الرُّكُوعِ أَدَبٌ. There is an adab in Rukoo. Now Rukoo, it is a rukn. رکن یعنی که جزء اون چیزایی است که 5 تا رکن تو نماز داریم. یکی تکبیرت الاحرام، یکی رکوع، 2 تا سجده، بعد هم نیت و قیام. نیت هم که دیگه جزء ارکان هستش. اگر کسی نماز خوند یادش رفت رکوع بکنه، این نمازش باطله. So if you offered your prayers, you forgot to do your ruku, namaz is batil, you have to repeat that namaz. If one of the ruku in one of the rak'ats was missed, so that entire salat is batil, you have to redo and repeat that entire salat. So, fir ruku'i adabun, there is an adab you have to observe in ruku. So if you do a ruku which was good, then sajda it's going to be better. Now, وقتی هواپیما میخواد تیک آف بکنه یه دفعه که پرواز نمیکنه، یعنی قشنگ اونجا روی باند هواپیما، باند فرودگاه حرکت میکنه، یواش یواش سرعت میگیره تا پرواز کنه. وقتی هم که میخواد فرود بیاد هم یه دفعه فرود نمیاد، یواش یواش میاد تا رسید به باند فرودگاه، اون موقع فرود میاد. Just like the taking off of an aircraft, and when it wants to land, it doesn't take off all of a sudden, it doesn't land. It takes its time and it comes to the runway and slowly it lands and it hits the ground. Just like that, ruku has to be done, and then because you are ascending towards a higher zone and the height is sajda. So that's why a better ruku has to be performed. Now, when you look into the creation of Allah, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, minhum rukkaun la yasjudun. And there are angels that are always in the state of ruku. There are angels who are always in the state of sajda. And Allah has created. So when we perform ruku, we are resembling the angels. Angels, there are many who are always in ruku. So that adab has to be observed. And then, وَمَنْ لَا يُحْسِنِ الْأَدَبْ لَا يَصْلِحْ فِي الْقُرْبِ. And then says that there is an adab in ruku, and there is an adab, that is, you are getting closer to Allah in sajda. Someone who doesn't perform this adab, observe the adab of ruku properly, then he cannot get into that qurb and nearness of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. یعنی کسی که میخواد به سجده برسد، همون قرب خدا را به دست بیارد، باید رکوعش درست انجام بده. وقتی رکوع را درست انجام داد، میتونه سجده را هم بهتر انجام بده، چون سجده هم دیگه قربی است که به خدای متعال انسان نزدیک میشه. خب فرکع الرکوع خاضع لله بقلبه. وقتی شما رکوع میکنید باید خیلی با خوف و خشیت و ترس باید این رکوع را انجام بدید. یعنی we perform this ruku with fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Why fear? Is Allah scary? No, it's not Him. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. The rank of Allah, the position, the status of the Almighty Allah, that maqam is scary. Not the Almighty God. Allah, He is compassionate, He is merciful. Now, because He is the creator, because He is the benefactor, because He is the provider, He is in a state, if He wants, He can punish me. If He wants, He can do whatever with me. So that rank of Allah, un maqami ke Khuda muta'al darad, un maqam has ke ما را به ترس و به لرزه در میاره. خب رکوع has to be done properly, sajda has to be done with khuzu, and then متذلل وجل تحت سلطانه. So in the performing of ruku, there is One of the great ulama of the Shia world is Marhum Sheikh Hassan Ali Nokhodaki Isfahani. He is buried in Mashhad. There is a book that he has written. Two books have been compiled, and that is the biography of this great great alim. He used to offer long and lengthy prayers in the haram of Imam Reza alayhi salam. Sometimes long rukus, sometimes long sajdas he used to perform. Now it was one winter, and his seerah was that he used to go to the rooftop of Imam Reza's haram, stand by the dome, and there he occupied himself in rukoo and in worship. One day he comes to the khadim, the caretaker of the haram, and says that I want to perform prayers on the rooftop. He says, okay, it has been his seerah, he used to do that all the time, and it's another time that he wants to. He says that I opened the roof for him and he occupied in worship. And I wanted to close the haram, because in those days, haram, it was shut at night, at midnight, and then they opened for Fajr again. He says, I went up and I saw that he is occupied in Rukoo. I could not leave him up, I could not leave the haram unlocked. I had to do something. So I said that I'll leave some firewood next to him in case he gets hot, he could warm himself with the fire. And I had to close the haram, and I had something urgent at home also. I closed, locked, and rushed back home. In the morning when I come back, I see that there has been a heavy snowfall, and there is a span of snow sitting on the back of this great alim. And I thought that he might have died, that he is in this cold weather and in this snow. I come closer to him and I see that he is in Rukoo. Subhana Rabbi al-Azimi wa bihamdih. Subhana Rabbi al-Azimi wa bihamdih. All night he had occupied in Rukoo. So some people, they are like that, who occupy in worship all the time. And sometimes we also have to, sometimes at times, offer long and lengthy rukus and then sajdas. Now, after the ruku, we have two sajdas. The first sajda here, Amir al-Mu'mineen Salamullah alayhi, he says that the first sajda, when you go down to the to perform that sajda, it means that minha khalaqnakum, that Allah, you have created us from this earth, from this dirt. And then when you sit up, that Allah, He created you from that clay. Now you have sat up, that you are in this world. And once you have sat up and you want to bow down in the second sajda, وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ, and to that earth and dirt we will return back. So when we sit up after the second sajda, it means that, and then we will be raised for a second time, and that is on the day of judgment, that is resurrection. So in this sajda, it's creation, and then rising from sajda, it's this world, and then going back to sajda, it's resurrection. And the whole entire belief system that we have has been mentioned in these two sajdas that we perform. سجده اول اینجا میفرمایند که وقتی شما به سجده رفتی و بلند شدید، یعنی دارید اقرار میکنید، به خدا میگید که از همین خاک و گلیست که تو ما را به وجود آوردید، آفریدید. وقتی اومدید نشستید، یعنی که از همین جا تو این دنیا اومدید. وقتی برمیگردید به سجده، یعنی به همین سجده دوم، یعنی به خاک رفتید و به دفن شدید و دوباره وقتی بلند شدی از سجده، یعنی دوباره حیات مجدد داده میشه که در روز قیامت ما برانگیخته شدیم. پس این نماز هم که میخونیم، it is a whole lesson of the aqaid that we have faith in, the usul al-din that created by Allah, and then we'll be raised and resurrected after our death. منها خلقناكم وفيها نعيدكم ومنها نخرجكم تارة أخرى. Now, among the mustahabbat of sajda is that the wajibat of sajda, you have to bow down in sajda and place your two hands on the ground. That is, the palm has to touch the ground. یعنی کف دستتون باید به سجده بخوره. گاهی میبینید که مردم خود دستشون شل میگیرن، این سجده درست نیست. If you take your hand or don't place your hands properly or they are loose on the ground, that sajda is not right. So this part of the hand has to touch the ground in sajda. So we've got masajid sab'a. That is, Masajid Sabah, the 7 places that need to touch the ground when you are in sajda: the forehead, the 2 palms, the 2 knees and the 2 toes. گاهی میبینید که مردم این انگشت شست پا را توی سجده درست قرار نمیدن در سجده. این اشتباه است. یعنی انگشت شست پا باید روی زمین قرار بگیره وقتی شما سجده رفتید. The toes, they have to touch the ground when you are performing sajda. Now, these masajid sabah, the 7 spots that need to touch the ground, when a person dies, it is wajib that you have to perform hunut. Hunut means you have to, after washing the body, you have to apply kafur to 7 spots. That is the forehead, the 2 palms, the 2 knees and the 2 toes. Because these are the parts of his body that were touching the ground when he was performing sajda. So this is wajib, that when you're performing sajda, Now what do you recite in sajda? Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la wa bihamdih. In Rukoo, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim wa bihamdih. Once. Or you can do it 3 times. Or you can say Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah 3 times in Rukoo. یا 3 دفعه در سجده همین سبحان الله بگید. یکی از اینا. راوی میگه که من رفتم خدمت امام صادق علیه السلام، دیدم که من منتظر بودم، ایشون تو سجده بود، شمردم 60 مرتبه ایشون سبحان ربی الاعلا و بحمده را خوندن. The reporter says, I went to meet Imam Sadiq and he was in sajda and I counted, he recited the zikr of sajda 60 times. Now one of the other mustahabbat that you have of sajda is that دعا بخونید تو سجده. معمولا در سجده آخر میخونن. شما اگر در خونه خودتون دارید نماز میخونید، در هر سجده میتونید دعا بخونید، هر دعایی که دوست دارید. اگر دعا از دعاهای معصور و دعاهایی که از معصومین نقل شده اونا بخونید که خیلی بهتره. این دعای مشهوری که از امام کاظم سلام الله علیه اومده که عظم الذنب من عبدک فلیحسن العفو من عندک یا کریم، این دیگه دعای امام کاظم هستش که این همه گناه این بنده تو انجام داده، فلیحسن العفو من عندک، یعنی اونی که از تو توقع هست اونی که تو ببخشی مرا، یعنی این همه گناه که من میکنم تو ببخشی. یا این دعا را بخونید یا هر دعایی که دوست دارید، یا فقط یا لطیف. سیره امام خوینی این بود که ایشون فقط یا لطیف یه چند بار میگفت، نمیگفت که چی میخواد. اونم دیگه دعای احراره. دعای احرار یعنی کسانی که به اون رتبه رسیدن و تو این دعاهای ماه رمضان که خوندیم در دعای سحر اون دعای احرار بهش نامیده میشه، یعنی اللهم انی اسألک ببهائک کله. دعای بها دعای احراره که در طول این دعا اصلا گفته نمیشه که ما از خدا چی میخواهیم، فقط تعریف و تنجید از خدای متعال هستش. خب اینم از مستحبات سجده است. When you're performing sajda, you recite whatever you want from the du'as. The best of du'as is the du'as that are reported from the ma'asumin alayhim as-salam. So once you have done your prayers, one of the other mustahabbat is أن يقول في الصباح والمساء after your prayers يا من أرجوه لكل خير. یعنی این دعایی است که ما در ماه رجب میخونیم، یعنی هم دعایی است که خیلی به ما امید میده، یعنی it gives you a lot of hope. That is, you have in the Almighty Allah يا ذا النعماء والجود يا ذا المن والطول حرم شيبتي على النار. So we've got all these Adaab for Sajda, Adaab for Tashahhud, Adaab for Salam, inshallah. We'll talk on that in the next week, inshallah. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala help us offer a better service and then protect this gem that has been given to us, which is Salat, and count us all among the best of the Musallin, all those who have offered the best of prayers. May Allah give us tawfiq that we offer better prayers, better ibadat. And Ya Allah, hasten in the return of our Imam, our Master, our Hujjah, and count us all among His servants and those who seek shahadat in His service. Ya Allah, between us, Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, never ever come across a moment of separation, and our children to be enlisted among the best of Muslims. Ya Allah, all those who have requested for du'as, whatever hajat they may be having, all of them be granted. Those who have passed away, forgive them. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
اللهم صل على محمد